Hey, what is up guys, Smurfy here today, and today I want to talk about the standard metagame. GP Barcelona and GP New Jersey have just finished, so today is the day after I got back from GP Barcelona. So I'm going to show you guys what deck I played, and I'm just going to talk about what the metagame is shaping up to be. So first of all, I'm just going to show you my deck, which is Red-Green Pummeler. So as most of the people that are watching my channel know, I am like an aggressive player. I just want to be killing my opponent as quickly as possible, and this deck was the deck that I've been playing in standard just for fun. Realistically, there was no real competitive events for me that I wanted to prepare for other than the GP, and by the time I realised how close the GP was, I just had no practice with any other deck other than this deck because I just thought it was a fun deck to play. And because of that, I got to the point where I was just like, okay, I haven't actually got even got any practice with the Mighty Vehicles deck, which was the one I'd probably be more likely to play, that or Jund Energy. I don't have enough practice with them, and I know at least one quarter of the entire GP is going to be Mighty Vehicles. Like, it's no surprise that the Mighty Vehicles deck is one of the most popular decks. It's just got the best card in every single converted mana cost up the curve. So instead of thinking I'm just going to play the best deck, as well as another, like, at least 25% of the room is going to play the best deck, why do I have any reason to beat all my opponents who have probably got more reps in with the deck than me? So I thought, you know, I'm just going to play the deck I know, I'm going to play it the best I can, and I definitely think that this deck had the ability to do very well. So my finishing record on day 1 was X and 3, so I made day 2. I then proceeded to day 2, I went X and 2, I think. Yeah, so I finished on 10-5. 1 win off potentially cashing. I don't think my breakers were good enough to cash, but some of the people that got one more win than me, they did cash. So that was unfortunate. I didn't win the last round. There were a couple of rounds where I just didn't lose because of the deck. I lost because of just fatigue, I guess. I had one round where I played against an opponent on the end of day 1 where I just missed all my triggers. I don't know why. I just had I clearly wasn't in like the right mindset. And it's very rare for me to miss my triggers. I normally play like very, very like cautiously about like making sure I do everything correctly. I don't like missing my triggers. Like even if I say pass, oh I forgot my energy, that's not good enough in my books. Like if I said pass and then I remember I've got my energy, then I'm just not going to say anything. I've missed my trigger in my opinion, at least. There are times where I've seen judges give leeway on things like that, even in like competitive rules enforcement. I personally don't think that's a good way to play, and I'd rather just play so that in the future I always get it perfect instead of giving myself that leeway. So yeah, that was that one round where I just completely lost because of I had no chance because I missed all my energy triggers, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, I finished X and 5, which is fine. And I was the only person playing this deck, at least on day 2, that I saw. I asked every single opponent if they'd playtest against my deck, and they said no. Not a single person even said yes. And I also asked if they've actually seen anyone playing my deck, and every single person said no. So I'm pretty sure I was the only person playing this deck on day 2. Obviously there could have been someone that I just didn't see. But yeah, I really don't think I saw anyone else. I definitely didn't see anyone else playing. I really don't think anyone else was. So the deck is literally just 20 spells, 20 creatures, 20 pump spells, and then a pretty transformational sideboard. I will do a deck tech on this deck and do a league with it later on. But yeah, that's just the deck I played. So going over the results, in GP New Jersey it was basically just 4 colors Sahili and Mighty Vehicles with 1 black-green energy deck, and GP Barcelona was basically the same. Oh, and also Dan Roberts was a guy that goes to my LGS and we playtest FNMs and things like that. He did really well with Aetherbucks Marvel. Unfortunately, he lost his winning in on camera to the top 8 in the last round. But congrats to Dan. He did really well with that GP. And yeah, so basically it's just 4 color and Mighty Vehicles. The ban list banned nothing, which I was pretty surprised about. Everyone knows that the 4 color deck and the Mighty Vehicles deck are the best 2 decks. A lot of the pros are pretty bored of standard because there's just not much room to innovate. But I think that normally it's very bad if the metagame is very boring like this, but at the same time it makes it very easy to attack the format if you know exactly what you're playing against. Like in Modern, you could literally play against Storm, Combo, Infect, Eldrazi, Zoo, Burn, Jund. There's just a Lantern Control. There's like a billion different decks you can play against, and because of that, it's very hard to pick a deck based on the metagame if you want to beat a very specific style of deck. Whereas in Standard, you know exactly what you're playing against. So yeah, I think that because of that, you can do very well if you can figure out a deck to beat these two decks. And I think that Pummeler is actually one of the best answers to them. It's faster than the Mardu deck a lot of the time. If they spend a turn killing your guys for 3 mana and then you just Blossoming Defense, then you probably just win because you've just got so much ahead on mana efficiency. So in the GP, I think I played against 4 or 5 4-color Saheeli decks, and I didn't lose a single round to Saheeli. And Mardu vehicles, I played I think 7, and I lost 3 of them to them, or something like that. So I had a positive win rate against both of the decks, which was very important for me at least, because it told me that how viable my deck was if I can beat those decks consistently. So yeah, those are my results. This is the Standard metagame, which I think is pretty boring. I was expecting some sort of ban on... I think the Cub needed to be banned. Feldar, Guardian. I think that it just makes the this deck just a little bit oppressive for people that don't want to play a very specific deck. If you just want to play black-white mid-range, I don't think it stands that much chance against this deck. And the results kind of back that up. But then again, this is also a very warped results, as pretty much everyone's playing these two decks. It's kind of like a big cycle where Mardu does the best, or 4-color does the best, so everyone plays it, and because everyone's playing it, it then does the best because that's got the most amount of representation in the metagame. But yeah, those are my opinions. I think if you want to do really well, you can play pretty much 4-color, Mardu, maybe green-black, or Pummeler. Just get in a crap load of reps with it, know exactly what you're doing, and just use that to your advantage, instead of just don't just pick up Mardu vehicles and hope you're going to win, because there's going to be a bunch of people playing it better than you if you don't have the reps in. So that's, in my opinion, is very important. Unless you're just some like Paul Ritzel, yeah, he can just pick up Mardu vehicles and do great with it, but I'm sure that he's put in a lot of practice with the deck. So yeah, those are my opinions. Thanks for watching, and peace.